Hello, everyone, and welcome. So, finally, history has been created, and El Salvador becomes the first nation of the world to accept Bitcoin as a legal tender. Nayib Bukele, who is the president of El Salvador, has passed a bill today, and it has got a humongous support as well from the Congress in the parliament of El Salvador, wherein 90% of the voting has been in the favor of Bitcoin as a legal currency in that country. So, to tell you about the status and the economy of that country, El Salvador is particularly a very poor country and has been going through rough patches economically, as well as there has been a lot of violence as well over there. Because it is a poor country, most of the citizens of El Salvador go abroad for work, and most of them obviously go to the US or Mexico for carrying out their day-to-day work and earning some monthly salary from those nations over there. And because of this, the people working in these abroad nations have to send money back to their family who are staying in El Salvador, and nearly 40% or more than half of the people are actually working outside, and that attracts a lot of a lot of fees, or you can call transaction charges, for sending money from, let's say, USA or Mexico back to El Salvador. And this was a huge chunk of money, or a lot of currency of El Salvador was going into a vein because of these transactions, right? Though the currency which El Salvador uses is the US dollars, they don't have the currency of their own. They use the US dollars, and now from now onwards they'll be using Bitcoin as a legal tender. So Naib Bukele, who is the president over there, there is some interesting story that you must know about this guy as well. He models himself as if he is the Elon Musk of the Americas, right? Because El Salvador is not that big a country. It's a small nation, as I said, is not doing that well economically. There's violence going around over there, right? And these three or four nations there's Guatemala, there is Honduras, there is El Salvador, and a few of the Caribbean nations. All of this, they make a small world into themselves, right? And Bukele, the president over there, he is like that tech savvy guy who is not in anybody's pocket, who can do anything he wants, and he's on the net. He's on Twitter. He's got a huge following on social media as well. So he's like the Elon Musk who is there to take quick decisions for the benefit of these three four nations, right? So he's like that, and he has been doing good work since the last 1 year, when he has been after which he has been elected, right? He's just 39 years of age. So that again tells you, like why El Salvador is the first nation to accept Bitcoin as legal tender out of so many developed and developing nations. Anyway, so he has been in the news recently, and he has been taking quick action. One of the recent happenings in El Salvador was that he arrested one of the opposition member, a very renowned opposition member, due to the charges of dubious corruption, and various other things have been happening in that nation. So they have accepted Bitcoin as a legal tender. Now what happens next? As I said, US dollars is the first and the prime currency of El Salvador, and Bukele is not in a position to ban that currency or de-dollarize El Salvador, because that is not going to happen any soon, because obviously not each and every citizen of that country will be able to transact in Bitcoin, because certainly it's a very new thing to them, right? So US dollars will stay for a moment, but these nations are, and a few of these nations are against US, right? Because most of these citizens over here, they are migrant workers there in El Salvador, and it creates a problem for the economy of US. So Trump was against the El Salvadorians going and working there in the US. So is Joe Biden, and hence there is a small, you can say, there's a small cold war between these two nations, as there is usually between any neighboring or near neighboring nations. So that is the case with El Salvador and USA as well. Now, if El Salvador starts to accept Bitcoin, which it has already, Bitcoin as a legal tender, then US dollars will be pressurized to some extent, because if other nations, other poor nations, and economically strained nations, if they start to take this step very frequently, especially the African nations like Nigeria and all, if they start legalizing Bitcoin, then the usage of dollars will be restricted and it will be reduced. This will create a pressure on the US dollars, because the demand for US dollars will go down. Not currently, but if this happens regularly, if more and more nations like Paraguay is also giving it a thought to legalize cryptocurrency in their nation. North Korea has come up with some new regulations and all. I beg your pardon, South Korea has come up with a few, not North Korea. So if this happens, then de-dollarization will put a pressure on the demand of dollars. This will put the US dollars down in the world, in the world market, right? And if that happens, and we know currently that the situation in the US is, though the stock markets are doing well, the economy overall is not doing well, right? Overall the world economy is not that great because of the COVID-19 crisis. No nation is doing what was expected during the beginning of 2020, right? That is not happening anyway. So during these moments of tension, wherein the inflation is mounting up, and if inflation mounts up along with the dollars going down, the US dollars going down, this will create a bigger problem for the US economy. Currently, El Salvador is a small nation. The dollar usage is not that much, but if this goes on, it will be a problem for the US economy, and hence US economy or the US government will try to put in, because see, China and US are two ends of the world stage right now, right? And for nations like El Salvador, China can act as a hedge. China will act as a hedge, as well as for Nigeria, China will act as a hedge. Also, Sri Lanka, wherein the economic situation is not that good, that even Sri Lanka is thinking of going towards a decentralized currency. So, for all these nations, China can act as a hedge. Bitcoin can act as a hedge against US. So, with all of this into the framework, this is a very interesting thing. This is not like this, obviously this is historic. El Salvador has done a historic thing, but this is not like the Bitcoin lovers and the Bitcoin followers can say that let's go to the moon. This is not a picture like this, because uh, if USA, which is the leading stakeholder in the IMF, if USA thinks to do something otherwise, if, because IMF will is a constant source of fund for El Salvador as well and other economically down nations. So if USA has as a major stake over there, then they have the decision making with them, and hence they can reduce the funds for El Salvador and other nations if they wish to do that. And if more nations start going towards Bitcoin, then obviously they will have to face the pressure from the USA. So it's not like every nation will be allowed to adopt Bitcoin, and even if they adopt Bitcoin, they will be in the bad books of a few nations like the USA. So this can happen, and certainly it's a good news. It's a historic move, but still there are a few issues which are going on at the world stage for the usage of Bitcoin. So this is the story in short, and as I said, Bukele is on his move, and he has legalized cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin around. I mean, if I get the figures right, 62 out of the 84 votes today in the parliament went in favor of Bitcoin. So this is what happened today on the floor of the parliament in El Salvador, where Nayib Bukele has done a historic thing, and this moment will be remembered forever if cryptocurrencies are to flourish from here on. So with this, we come to the end of this video. This was an informative video. I hope this was valuable. If it was, please make sure that you like, share, subscribe, follow, comment, and show your love in whichever way you feel comfortable with, and support this channel. We also have a podcast going on in Hindi where we target crypto issues and crypto topics. So please follow that as well. The link is there in the description. Along with that, you can always follow our English podcast and Hindi YouTube channel as well. So thank you for listening till the very, very end, and I'll be seeing you again. Thank you.